All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Villain Viver podcast. Oh, there's Boofus. Let's just wait for him to join. There he is.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey guys, Boofus.
That's Boofus. I'm Gabriel.
So do.
And today we're going to be talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3 because that's all that happened so far.
What do you mean all?
I don't know. What do you?
That's a lot of episodes.
I mean, yeah, it is. Okay, you got me there.
Okay. Are we starting with episode 1?
No, let's start with episode 2. Yeah, we're gonna start with episode 1.
Anyway, episode 1. I hated so fucking much. I hated it so much. My least favorite episode.
Oh, I know why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 1 was a doozy. What even was the challenge? Oh, it was a live challenge. I remember that.
It was the Mother's Day,
Counting.
counting the images. I actually managed to get in the chat, but because the Wi-Fi was so bad, I bet it kept whatchamacallit, buffering for me. If it's like, it's not a video, but it's almost as if it was. So I was barely able to watch the challenge.
Yeah, we had to have only the people competing in because otherwise it made it like lag.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, don't worry. It was my internet. It had nothing to do on your end.
But yeah,
I wasn't on my place.
let me go back and see. Who ended up winning that challenge? The Hadro tribe, the old tribe. No, the young.
Yeah. The young tribe. The young tribe.
Right? Yeah, the young tribe won.
Yep. We have the episode recaps. With I have it open, so
yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
I just have good memory.
Oh, congratulations!
Oh, no, I actually remember Hadro winning because I did congratulate them on the chit chat. I actually think this so far it's the only time I did that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was the first one.
Well, let me just do some quick reading. So I guess something quick to mention is we saw Roman and Iris very early on before the challenge took place. They were very obviously a duo. And
I think we mentioned on the like the first one that we talked about assessing the cast.
What?
Yeah, we mentioned that in the cast assessment.
We mentioned that in the cast assessment.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like it's part of episode 1, so we can go into it a little bit deeper here.
Yeah, but about it is that duo, obviously it led to a trio later on with Reagan, but it wasn't a bad duo, like how some duos could possibly lead to you getting targeted. It actually ended up being a pretty well duo as it led into a trio because they held power for this vote, and I would say for their whole entire tribe, they're in the best position throughout. So that duo led to something great instead of something that could have been a disaster.
Mm-hmm. The only thing...
However, I hate it. And I'll explain later.
The only thing is that they're both obviously social threats. And they're like such power duos that I think they're going to be obvious with it and get taken out because of it. At least one of them. Or they're going to like flip on each other, like Shannon Ricard style. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I see that happening. Not anytime soon, though. However,
No.
they are like you see them as players that are social in the beginning, but then being so social in the beginning instead of just laying low, it's gonna catch up to you.
Absolutely.
And I see either like I don't see them getting out early. The only thing I see is one of them either winning, if I'm honest, or both of them getting out mid to late jury.
Right.
Either now jumping a little bit, but also obviously not giving any spoilers because of the spectator voting. Even now, the most recent challenge, you can see they dominating um, like leading the tribe and everything. I'm like, this is putting such a big target on them.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
just the first episode. It's been happening ever since the first episode.
I don't remember. In the first episode, did they like lead the challenge?
I actually don't remember because I wasn't here. I wasn't
Right.
like seeing who was saying stuff. But we can maybe check the tribe the tribe chat and see who was giving the answers.
Well, I mean, they had to give answers on their own.
Yeah. No. I know. I was talking like to see who played for them.
Oh, I think they went.
I'm so cold.
You good?
Yeah, I'm just cold.
Okay. They went in
Checking
like
the
an order.
What?
Oh, never mind. I'm checking the wrong one. Never mind. We can just move on.
Yeah.
Move on from
Anyway,
the topic.
after the challenge happened and the oldies lost, right away, Iris told everyone, and everyone agreed. Since it was Mother's Day, this happened pretty fast to not vote out Nay, because she is a mother, right? And Iris later on gives um us reasoning into her confessional, or Iris is her, right?
Yeah.
All right, into her confessionals that it wasn't because of Mother's Day, but because of a personal reason. I'll tell you why that makes me mad later. However, right away that was why Nay wasn't even up for consideration, because it seemed like just based off the social dynamic of the tribe, Nay was definitely on the bottom. Nay was not active. Nay was clueless to being inactive too. Like she had no idea that she was on near the bottom. It seemed like she thought she was pretty well intertwined with her tribe, which was not the case. And it definitely was going to be her demise if it wasn't Mother's Day. So it was Nay's lucky day.
Yeah, but I think I know what you're going to say about like what makes you mad. I think
We'll
it's
get to that.
probably
We'll get to that.
it's the
We'll get to
same
that.
thing. It's probably something about.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty. Oh, I guess it's important to mention that a Majority Alliance called the Codename Kids Next Door was created with Jet, Regan, Molly. Wait, no, Molly was not in it.
Wims was in it.
Wims was in it. Roman was in it, and
Iris
was in it.
Yep.
Yeah, so the episode recap is wrong, but
Elk is right there watching on the audience.
Oh, Elk is watching. Okay, well, yeah, Elk.
Yeah.
Episode recap because that's wrong. But yeah, so that was created, and that's where they discussed all of this, and yeah, so it was pretty. Iris definitely strong armed this vote. And Roman also, to an extent, seemed to take a pretty strong hold. And they were also
later on, though.
Yeah, later on. Now, okay, they wanted to actually Roman and Iris wanted to create an alliance with Molly, but he was being cagey with who he trusted. Like Roman was asking like, who do you like on the tribe? And he's like, oh, I like everyone, you know, and not giving
Yeah.
like distinct answers. So Roman did not like him anymore and did
Yeah.
not want to work with him. So that kind of put him on the bottom of the tribe. He really fucked up with that.
Yeah, it was such a small thing too. If Mally just spoke up onto who he liked or something, then I could see him getting in a better position. And even in that 5-person alliance,
Yep. Instead of
if
wins.
he just answered, instead it led him to the bottom, which was kind of bad.
Yeah. And then people also noted being a little sketch of Jet. He just like gave sketchy vibes, I guess. I don't know. But they also thought that Jet and Wims were a duo. I personally think this is because of their time zones, because they have similar time zones.
I will say,
Which
Jet
is a
and
weird thing to like. Oh, you must be a duo because of your time zones.
yeah, that has to be some type of like, I don't know. I feel like that's rude. I don't know what it's called, but it's rude. But anyway, Wims and Jet, even though they're not like a number one duo, they have each other both high in trust rankings. In fact, Jet has Wims. I think throughout the whole entire game had her as number one, or at least number two, and now is number one.
Wims has Jet
so-
is number one too. They are kind of a duo.
Most recently she did, or episode 1.
I think episode 1. I don't remember exactly. I could look in trust rankings real quick.
Yeah, do that. But yeah, anyway, so bottom line is that they're close. So although they're not wrong about it, when they say that they are a duo, it makes me think that Jet.
She did.
Yeah, it makes me think that Jet is, even though people do find him sus, Jet is with the Core 5, right? He was in that Core 5 alliance.
Yeah.
And he's with Wims. So I feel like even though people do think he's sus as of now, he's still in a good position that episode.
Yeah.
So playing with the minority and the majority, which I find pretty impressive. And his confessionals are still always good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here we also see Regan getting set up in a really good position with Roman and Iris. They become a duo or a trio. They create an alliance chat called Tree.
This is later on. Sorry, continue.
Sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say that they create an alliance chat. I can't pronounce it, but Triumvirate.
Triumvirate.
Yeah, whatever. But
yeah.
That cements their trio status for sure.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why this was made, and this may take a while, but let's get off by saying once they pronounced that Nay was not going to be the target, and since Jack has been inactive, they were going to go for Jack. Now, I don't know where to start, but it was pretty mellow at first when people threw out Jack's name. No one had an issue with it. And, until Jack got back, nothing really happened. And the thing is, Jack came back from a funeral. No. Jack heard word from, who was it again?
I don't.
No, it was Roman. Jack heard from Roman that.
No, it wasn't Roman.
It had to be.
I don't think it was Roman. I really don't.
No, it definitely was. I remember. Hold up, let me look.
I highly doubt.
I swear on everything. And my memory is good, I swear. Hold up, let me look. Mentions Jack. Wait. In Roman's confessional, Jack. I'm shivering, bro. Okay. Jack is a tribal Jedi. Yep, it was Roman.
Oh,
It was Roman because Roman said Jack only just decided to speak to me about votes, so I'm going to be honest and tell him I already locked my vote, blah, blah, blah. So Roman's the one to tell Jack that Jack was going to be the vote, which led Jack to make a public announcement in the tribal chat about why he couldn't be active and why he feels it's unfair that he's being voted out. And threw a little snarky comment at the end about thinking there was an alliance of majority, which there was, and he somehow named every single person in that alliance to Roman, which got Roman really paranoid because Roman thought there may have been a snake. How did Jack know that, you know? However, when Wims, out of all people, read Jack's message, it really touched her heart because she was thinking, why would we vote someone out who can even be active and who's nice and is now starting to be active out when we're not even voting Nay out for basically the same reason? So what Wims did was try to get everyone to vote out Toaster.
who was the other
'Cause
option
Toaster-
in the beginning?
Jack and Toaster.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Toaster was already an option.
Yeah.
But which
Toaster
one?
was Toaster was being sorry. I'm taking up time. I'm
No,
sorry,
you're
guys,
good.
but Toaster because Jack was my favorite. Okay, but Toaster was being discussed a little bit, but it ended up on Jack. You know, Toaster wasn't really talked about that much. However, so that's why it landed on Jack. However, Toaster was pretty inactive the first episode. They didn't really do much. You know, Toaster was kind of like Nay, didn't really talk much. He didn't really socialize much, didn't really get along with people that much, which is why Wims thought it'd be a good idea to switch the vote to Toaster after Jack made that announcement because Toaster really didn't do much. So this
you
was Wims'
think that-
mistake. And
do you
this is
think
what
that
led. Sorry, what?
The issue, sorry, it's related to what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Do you think if Jack has not, he still like do that announcement, but if he kept the alliance thing to himself, do you think he had a better chance? Because I saw a lot of
No.
things of them talking like, oh, he's a threat because he figured out our alliance because of look what he's talking, the way he's
Yeah, no.
talking, he figured out. Do you think if he kept for himself?
Yeah, Iris mentioned in her confessional that she was like, oh, well, I would have been open to it, but since Jack threw that snarky comment at the end, I'm not even going to be, you know, open to it at all. Which I find wasn't going to happen anyway because, you know, 4 out of the 9 votes were locked in already. I don't think there would have been any type of flip. However, this is what led to the trio alliance of Reagan, Iris, and Roman because of what Wims did. Because Wims wanted to, you know, have a heart just like they did and save Jack, or at least not vote him. You know, Wims at the end of the day just said, I couldn't get myself to vote Jack. Oh, you know, even if she did try to flip the vote, and she only approached Roman with this idea, or not Roman, Reagan with this idea. So it's not even like she went to everyone. So at the end, she just said, okay, I just couldn't get myself to vote Jack. Now, that was her biggest mistake. And I find it shouldn't even be a mistake if they did the same thing. I find it hypocritical. And so they made that cheer chat because they didn't trust Wims, and they're already sus of Jet, you know, for what Gabriel said before. So they made that trio. And after that, Jack got voted out. You know, there was really nothing that could have been done. You know, everything that Wims tried failed. So Jack got out, and at the end of episode 1, it led the power trio in a really powerful position as they all kind of got everyone to not trust Wims, besides Jet, and it put Wims near the very bottom next to Nay.
Yeah, and it's
That's the
something
whole thing.
that's
Sorry. I
almost-
had to explain it all. I'm sorry.
No, it's
guys.
okay.
I mean, so it's a podcast to discuss the episodes. You're discussing the episode. There is nothing to be sorry about.
Yeah, I mean, I took up all y'all's time, but yeah, Jack was my favorite not like I had favoritism, but he was like my favorite on the old tribe. So I was like really spectating that episode, and then like Wims is also one of my favorites. So it was so upsetting to see that happen. You know, I like Iris as a player though. Don't get me wrong; they're a really good player, or she's a really good player.
Yeah, I mean, you covered it all basically. It just like
Yeah.
I do want to add that a reason in the beginning that they didn't want to vote out Toaster was because he was a new
Yeah.
player and they didn't want to
Mhm.
take away this experience from him. Which to me,
Yeah.
if you have on one hand someone who was a little inactive because he went to a funeral versus someone
Yeah.
it's their first org, I'm getting rid of the person who it's their first org. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
there's one person who wins the sadness Olympics in this case. If they're, I mean, I hate that term, but like if we're playing that game, then someone wins. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much episode
Yeah.
one.
I mean, one
Bufus,
thing to add.
Bufus basic. Sorry, I was only going to say that Bufus. Just give my perspective. Bufus has said everything, but there's something that I am gonna comment about on the next episode that I noticed. It's basically almost like to see the two perspectives because the whole inactive thing becomes another vote in the next episode, but it's from the other tribe, and it's actually interesting to see how both tribes act on an inactive player.
Yeah, I mean, they both handled it differently.
What were you gonna say, Rufus?
But
Oh, I was just gonna add that I said that Wims and Nay are more near the bottom at the end of episode one because come end of episode one, early episode two is when Toaster started to vibe with Roman a lot, which put Toaster in a better position because Roman is in such a good spot. However, I will say when Roman heard that Wims wanted to flip the vote and freaked out about it, it had me kind of worried for Roman's game in the future if something with pressure happens again, because it doesn't seem like they handle it that well. And that's it. That's all I got to add.
Yeah, Roman definitely comes off as a very emotional player, which is not going to be good for the long run whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can move on to episode 2, which there was an individual immunity challenge where someone from each tribe would win, and they went to a double joint tribal council, and the challenge was what was it called? I forget.
let me check. Where is it? World Chains.
Word chain, yeah. It was a word chain. And
Word chain.
Nay and
Oh, they were so bad. They were so bad.
No. You're thinking of the one that they just recently did for the word challenge.
Oh, okay.
The word chains they were decent at. So Nay and Tara won, and then they went to this double tribal, and it was a fucking mess. And that's what.
Yeah.
People just don't know how to freaking vote. They don't, like, for real, like. Sorry, but yeah. Starting off, Mino was already in a terrible position. So coming into it, people right off the bat were already throwing out Mino. The new tribe was throwing out Mino, not the new tribe, the young tribe. So just right off the bat, and they made a whole entire alliance without Mino. It was not looking good for Mino.
Yeah, I remember. Like, can you make a an entire alliance without Mino? It was one of the things I remember that.
Yeah. I almost felt bad because Mino was simply grounded. That's why they're inactive. However, Mino told me because I put in power rankings Mino. Even when Mino came back, he was not fighting as hard as he should have been, knowing that he was gone. And he said he did fight hard, and I didn't see that. So if you did, Mino, my bad. However, what I did see, people, it didn't come across that way to other people. So even if you did, I'm sorry, it did not come across that way to other people. So, it just that I thought for sure Mino's grave was dug. However, there was a shining hope for Mino in the Tampon Alliance. Who was in the Tampon Alliance?
Jade and Looking, I believe.
Yeah, Jade wanted to save Mino for Mino as an extra number, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember there was some people that's the one thing I was gonna comment on. But yeah, you can continue.
Okay, I'll just finish
Either way.
this. Jade wanted to save Mino, just for an extra number, and Mino and Jade liked each other. So, at first, it was seeming like, okay, they're discussing another vote, who I'm not going to name right now until we get to it, but they're discussing another vote, and it seemed like Mino was going to be in the clear. It really did, until they got to discuss the second vote where Mino did get voted out. That's where they ended up confirming to vote out Mino. However, we expected it to be the first vote, which was not the case. I'll let someone else take over.
So the thing I was gonna comment on, I don't remember who it was. I only saw one confessional or two. I don't remember. Maybe it was those two people that you mentioned. They were talking about how they thought it was unfair to vote Mino because the inactivity wasn't their fault and everything. And I think that's completely like different, like 180 from the Jack situation, because the Jack situation was pretty, almost pretty when you like everyone agreed on something. I forgot the word.
I did too.
Unanimous. Yeah, that's what. The Jack situation was almost unanimous, while Mino at least could have had something with the other tribe as well. But like the other tribe were like, yeah, let's vote Jack that was inactive because he was on a literal funeral. Imagine someone that was grounded. I think Mino, sadly, like because of the other tribe and how they acted with Jack, I didn't think that Mino stood a chance because it was a joint tribal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was only their his right? Yeah, his tribal. I think he would have had a better chance of convincing people to keep him.
I will say I feel really bad for Mino because Mino was really waiting to get onto the season, as I heard from Gabriel.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, he's the whole reason that we have this season.
Yeah. The young versus old thing where you could be 14 to apply. So Mino was really excited, and I will admit I'm not going to blame Mino for his vote out as much, only because he was grounded. And maybe if he wasn't, he would have figured out a way to communicate more with his tribe. And I know Mino is really good at VC. He's much more talkative. So maybe he would have done so if he got the chance. However, I will say when he did get the chance to communicate, it wasn't that impressive.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to blame him for it because I do feel bad. He was grounded and he was really excited.
We didn't even talk about Regan's elimination.
Yeah, I didn't know how to approach that.
Yeah, before we get to that, the Safari opened this episode. So our idol system this season is an advantage shop. And the way that people get coins is through a Safari light. It's not exactly a Safari. It's like a rendition of a carnival, and they go through and do puzzles to gain coins, and so then they use the coins to buy advantages. So that opened. Yeah.
No one's gotten anything so far.
Yeah,
right?
no one's bought anything so far.
Okay.
No one has bought, but I've seen like people already pulling. There has been some movements to actually get. I don't remember who it was that said, but I read someone's confessional today that they were like talking about maybe buying the 2 volts advantage and not
Yeah.
save for a immunity because probably they're going to use the 2 volts in the longer run.
Mhm.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I should start making notes. I remember this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I want to talk about this, and then I forget who talks about it.
It's okay.
Let me do a quick. Um,
But Gabriel, about the advantages, just to clarify, once you buy it, is it available for others to buy still, or is it up for grabs for everyone?
No, on the list it tells you how many there are in total to buy.
Okay. And when someone gets voted out, they can give their
They can
coins,
give
right?
away half of their coins.
Okay.
Mhm.
Which did happen, by the way, when we get to Reagan's vote out.
Yes.
So Reagan getting voted out, I will say, was a robbery. It definitely was, because Reagan was in such a good position. While I do think Reagan could have taken home the
Yeah.
whole game, if I'm honest, I really do think they could have. This joint tribal, this twist screwed them over, and Villain Viver, isn't new to big twists this early on, such as the bloodbath last season, or I don't know, season 2. Was there any season 2 or 3?
I don't.
There's a bloodbath earlier.
We've never done a bloodbath before.
Okay, well, I'm sure there was
I'm sure there
big
was,
ones. Yeah. Elk, if you want to type any big ones in your season, please do. However, with Reagan's vote out, no one expected it. I will say the Young Tribe, they really wanted to pull off a big move. It seems like everyone this season wants to do big moves. And this vote out was no exception. This joint tribal, it did screw over Reagan, which did screw over Iris and Roman, because they lost a big ally. That tight trio, they lost a big ally. So, which never would have happened otherwise, the newbies not newbies, the new young people just kind of talked. And at first, it was just going to be Mina. They know a second name yet. And in fact, the only old person they talked about was Mally to vote out at first. Tara threw that out, I know, and no one kind of grasped onto it into that alliance chat without Mino. And it never stuck. However, it did seem like it could have happened really easily if who was it? Regina that
with
came up with
the region vote. Yeah. The region vote, yeah.
Yeah, the region vote. So that kind of got Mally's name out of the pot, and it put in Reagan's name. And yeah, it kind of sealed Reagan's fate. Regina sealed Reagan's fate, is all I got to say.
Yeah, and Regina wasn't even trying to. She just made an offhand comment. That Regan spoke a lot and was fun to talk to, and everyone took that and was like, "Oh, Regan is a social threat." And that's wild. Regina literally went in her comps and was like, "Did I cause this?"
Yeah, nah, for real.
We had two heartbreaking eliminations back to back in the beginning of the season. That's I mean, I'm not comparing region to Regan. That's how you pronounce or region. Regan and Jack back to back, I think, show they were really, really sad eliminations. Regan mostly because of how like out of nowhere, like no one expected it.
Yeah, so what's interesting is it was supposed to be Mally. Tara was hard pushing Mally. And who was it? Jade. Jade hated that. Dude, Jade was pissed. Like, well, yeah, I'd say pissed. Like, she was like, why is Tara like being so aggressive? Like, why is Tara trying to control this vote? Like, who does she think she is? Like that kind of attitude. And yeah, and so Tara, but the thing is, like, Tara is literally being seen as overplaying for just playing. You know, that's what's insane. She wasn't like being aggressive with the vote at all, in my opinion. She just suggested a name because no one else would.
Yeah, like it was coming up to the wire. No one was saying a name, so.
Right. And so let's also talk about how the old tribe. So David reached out across tribal lines and was like, hey, old tribe, I want to work with you guys. What can we do? And the old tribe was like, well, since you want to work with us, we'll vote out whoever you want. Like, who do you not like? We'll get rid of them. And David was like, well, I don't really vibe with Nimki. Let's get rid of Nimki. And they're like, bet, we'll write down Nimki's name. Well, Nay tells Nimki that David threw out his name. And Nimki is like, fuck no. This little snake ass bitch. Who does he think he is? And who finds out? Jade finds out. And Jade is like loving this drama because she fucking loves drama. Whenever she's like not involved in it. And she like can use this. And she like scares David into like voting with them. And like confronts him and is like, why are you throwing Nimki's name out? And David like gets caught in a lie, basically. He's like, oh, who snitched?
Yep.
And it's like, bruh, are you fucking, come on. But so in the end, he didn't end up voting with the old tribe. And then the old tribe obviously is pissed off because they're like, this snake ass bitch, like, why is he fucking like, why is he like lying to us? Like, why would he try to work across tribal lines just to not vote with us? Which is going to cause major problems for David in the next episode, but we'll get to that whenever we get to it.
Yeah.
But I would say like after this, like if we're going like overall, I'd say Jade is in the best position as of episode 2 out of everybody.
Yeah, the good thing with Jade is that Jade did get her way in not voting out
Mally.
Them. Yeah, Mally. Jade got their way in not voting Mally, but they didn't get their way in voting Mino. Keeping Mino.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you may think, okay, that may not be that good. However, the difference is between these other contestants, which have such strong personalities and such big move-itis. Jay just let the minor vote go through and didn't really care much about it. You know, where other people would have been hardcore, no, we gotta save so and so. So that shows Jade has the ability to not to shut up when you need to shut up, which is really important.
She picks her battles to win the war. Yeah. I think she's going to be a very, very powerful player. And you know what's crazy? This is only her 3rd org. Like, she's very new to this.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for every new player. I'm just saying from experience and talking to new players my season, seeing the new players this season, it seems like they know when to lay low. I don't know if it's intentional, but they
unless you're Toaster.
I think Toaster just lays low all the time. Like, let's be real.
I don't think he knows that he's playing a game.
Yeah.
By the way, as we're talking about Jade, the person that I was talking about maybe keeping an eye or buying the vote was Jade.
Oh yeah. Because Jade, this is jumping ahead to episode 4, but like Jade has the most amount of coins currently in the game. She's at like almost 30 or something.
How many?
I don't know. Let me check.
Oh shit, 20
They
away from an
said they
idol.
have 25 right now, unless they got more.
She has
But yeah,
22.
it's not
Oh.
days, but like we were
I don't think
talking
anyone
about.
has updated her coins.
I assume she's gonna get more just because she's well liked, and when people get voted off, they'll give her their
That's true.
coins.
Oh, never mind. She says, so I will have 25 coins. They don't. She doesn't have 25 right now.
Yeah, because I don't think they've been updated.
Yeah.
Next episode is the swap, right?
Yes.
All right. So we swapped into 3 different tribes consisting of tribe number 1, Jade, Roman, Tara, Mali, Regina. Tribe number 2, Iris, looking, Nimki, Nay, David, not looking good for David. Tribe number 3, Jaff, Ariana, Wims, Toaster, Jet, Skylark. Now, what do y'all think of these tribes?
Just off of first impressions, the Kresh tribe, the one with Jade, Mali, Roman, Regina, Tara. I see Jade and Mali together. They, I think, are going to become a power duo.
Yes.
Because they wanted to work together during the joint. So I can definitely see them getting stronger. I think it looks bad for Roman. I think it looks really bad for Roman because Regina and Tara were getting along. And Regina is such a non-threat that I don't see her going anywhere. And Tara is a great shield. So I think Roman would be in trouble if they were to go to tribal.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree, if I'm honest. I think if they lose, Regina's going home. If they lost episode 3, I for sure think Regina would have been the one to go home just because Regina was low on nearly everyone's trust rankings besides... I don't even know. I forget, but I was looking when I was doing trust rankings, and Regina, no one talked good about Regina. The only thing Regina had going for her was people saying, oh, she's from my OG tribe. Like, that's it. So, you know, I do think Roman was in a tough situation, but I do think Roman is a good social player where they can work their way up, while Regina...
Well, no, because, okay, this is hopping a little bit into episode 4, but the way Jade talks about Roman is not good. Jade is like, Roman is such a...
Yeah, no, I'm just saying episode 3.
I was going to say, just because Jade is like, Roman is such like, it's like she's easy to see through. Like, she doesn't want to have conversations unless it's strategy. Like, she's very game body, you know? Like, her conversations aren't genuine. Yeah. So I think that that's going to hurt her. She talks a lot, but...
I totally agree, though. Yeah, I totally agree that Jade is in the most powerful position. Episode 3.
Moving on to the Anoth tribe. That feels weird to say out loud. The Anoth tribe with Iris, Looking, Nay, Nimki, and David. That's a wild ass tribe. Let me tell you, because you got fucking Nimki, Nay, and David. The 3 involved in the fucking holy trinity of oh fucks last episode, you know. And then you have Looking, who is one of the messiest players I've ever seen in my life, who is just...
No, I'll never get over Looking being like, I'm gonna make a huge move, and then just throwing out Mino. Like, so funny. No, it wasn't even throwing out Mina's name. It was just saying Mina's the most nasty. That's it.
Literally. It was even funnier because the other option was to get rid of Tara, and they're like, the bigger move is to get rid of Mino, and I'm like, what? Okay, all right, but yeah. So in that tribe, it does not look good for David. And And then for the not
Yeah.
oh sorry, go
David
ahead.
has. I said David has 2 people against him, and all of the old tribe already doesn't like him. So
Yeah, and then with looking being
Not
such a
looking good.
fucking wild card, like there's no telling which way they'll go. So looking at the Nodyak tribe, we have Jaff, Ariana, Wims, Toaster, and Jet. This is an interesting composition because you have Wims and Jet, who are a duo, probably. At least they're number
Mhm.
ones with each other. And then you have Toaster, who Wims voted against. So Toaster does not like Wims. And then you have Jaff, who is a personality that you either love or hate. It seems like Jet does not like Jaff at all in episode 3. And I don't know why. He keeps mentioning the Walker incident, and I don't know what that means.
They like posted in the confessional like they like doesn't know this the Walker. I think that's what was referring to. And then when I clicked the link, it was like something that was posted that was like a drink, and I was like, wait, am I supposed to understand something with that? And it's like, oh, it's not even an old movie. I'm like, but it's just serving a
Wait.
drink. Why am I?
So
What am I
Jaff was
not
making
getting?
fun of Jet because he didn't know a drink?
Like let me just double check so we don't get that wrong. Where is Jeff's
I mean, it
confessional
sounds
here?
like Jaff. Like,
It was
Jaff is a
Jeff, right?
15-year-old boy, so I can see him like... Oh, something we forgot to mention last
Wait, let me-
episode that was so funny. Jaff told his entire tribe that he went on a date with a girl at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday for
Oh, yeah.
no reason. And no one believed him because he's gay as fuck. Like, everyone was like, Jaff definitely did not go on a date. Like, and
it was a whole like conversation.
yeah,
too,
it was
like
literally
a
like
topic.
a whole thing. And I have no idea why he decided to tell them that. But that's so stupid because if you get caught lying about something insignificant, they're going to think that you're lying about everything. So fucking stupid Jaff. And I can say that. He's my friend. Dumb Jaff. Love him, but come on.
I don't seem to find it. Was
I
it
don't know.
Jeff?
Jet keeps mentioning
Let
the
me-
Walker incident whenever talking about Jaff, but I don't know what that is. So, but that's the reason that he doesn't like Jaff. And then Ariana is just kind of there. Like, I never hear anyone like talking about Ariana, so I don't even know if she's like active.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it. I found the Walker incident. I found it. It's on the KND alliance. So basically, from what Jet is saying is that Jeff called them walkers, and then Wims asked them. No, was it Wims? Yeah, Wims asked them, what does that mean?" And Iris responded, basically implying that they are too old to run. But I remember seeing like a link to like something of a drink that was posted. Like I thought it was that incident, but apparently not.
Damn, Jet took that shit personally.
Oh, I don't remember.
That's funny.
I really don't remember what was it. Yeah, I'll try to find it for the next podcast. Even if it's too old, at least to be able to talk about it like real quick. But because yeah, it was a link to. I don't think it was even a game thing. They posted a Discord link to a video that was posted, I think, in Game Night chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was the thing because they were talking. Oh, they can't be too old to know this reference. I think that was the thing that was said.
Okay, so basically Jet just took it a little too personally. Got it. Okay.
But I actually no. Now that I know what was the Walker incident, I actually don't know if it was Jeff. That's
Well,
the
Jet
thing.
has confirmed that it was Jaff, so.
Okay.
Anyway, come episode 3. I know I'm backtracking because it's the beginning, but after the Reagan put out, Iris, you know how Reagan and Roman were both like really upset, kind of sus at Wims. Interesting thing, come episode 3, Iris out of the trio really, really likes Wims, and I feel like although it may not be important now, obviously different tribes, it's going to be important on later on just because Iris is a big player in Wims. Right now, I would say is in a good position. So I feel like once they link up again, it can be interesting to watch, you know, because Iris is the only one that kind of likes Wims out of her whole
Besides
entire
Jet,
tribe.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, but also,
Well, we had the
what was the
reward
challenge?
challenge, which was another word chain, but a different kind of word chain, and that was the one where they fucked it up. Like everyone fucked it up, and it was Anonymous
Yeah.
So
who
bad.
won, and Jade, Nay, and Jaff won coins. They got 7 coins each. And then the
Pretty
immunity
generous.
challenge was night moves, and it was a double hero challenge. So there were 2 people from each tribe who competed, and it was Toaster and Jaff, Nay and Iris, and then Regina and Roman. And Nay fucked it up. She could have won. So Toaster was out super early. Basically, and it basically came down to Jaff and Nay. And Nay had like 7 moves left, and Jaff only had 2. But Nay went the wrong way because she wasn't paying attention and lost.
Yeah, I forgot who was
Iris.
really mad at Nate for that, but
Iris
who
literally
was?
went in her
Iris,
confessionals and
yes.
was like, I am fuming. I have never been this pissed off in an org before. I am literally so mad. How could she fuck it up like that? She was literally so
Yeah, I mean, after they lost though, Iris, even though Iris was really mad at Nay, Iris was still in one of the best positions.
Real quick before you go on, can we point out though too that Nay said basically, hey you guys, I will step up and do it, but I really can't. I have something going on. She had like a finale or something going on at the time. She was like, and I don't think I can be there. Can someone else please do it? And everyone else was just like quiet. They didn't say anything. So she just stood up and like she did it. So like respect to Nay, you know.
Yeah. I think that was one of the factors that she didn't get voted out. I don't remember who's the one who said. I'm trying to like look at the confessional. It was looking right. They were like, "Okay, you stepped up. You did the puzzle. Like we respect that, and we are not going to vote out you because of that, and because of the past episode and all the and what happened with David. That was almost like the go-to after the 2 people that did the challenge wouldn't be voted out because they participated in the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think Nay got saved because she stepped up for the challenge. It's definitely because Nay told Nimki. Nimki and Nay were kind of good after that. They had that unspoken type of bond, you know, because Nay ratted out David and Nimki. So already David has 2 people against him. So I honestly think if Nay gave up or said, I'm not even doing it, I still think Nay would still be here. It was kind of set in stone for David once they lost.
Well, and honestly, like too, because what happened is Nimki and I think it was Nimki and David were talking, and Nimki was like, well, who should we like vote out? And David was like, well, we should vote out a challenge beast. And Nimki twisted his words and went to Nay and was like, David, sorry, and was like, David said that we should vote you out because you're a challenge beast. So Nay was like, oh, fuck that. Fuck that. We're getting David out. He is not going to call me a challenge beast. And so that's kind of what happened. And then Looking was like getting annoyed with David for some reason. I forget why. But
let me check his confessional.
But yeah, they were getting annoyed with David, and we're just like, fuck this, I don't care, I'm voting David out. Like, I'm sick of him.
Which is weird because one of his wait, is his right? No, one of their lookings, like trust rankings, he put David really high and say, I have a really strong connection with David. So like, something happened during the swap that made Looking hate David.
I'm not sure what it was, but Iris obviously was going to go along with it too, because the majority was the young people on the tribe, right? And Iris was like, okay, if they want to vote out a young person, like it was obvious why Iris didn't object to it, and it sets Iris in. If they lost again, I honestly don't know who'd go home. Like, I really don't.
So Gabriel, I may have found it. So, but yeah, you can finish that. I think I found it why Looking went for David, and why all of a sudden after the swap, they started hating David.
Why?
I really don't think it'd be Looking.
Hated, but Looking said, right now I'm pretending that I'm Iris and David's little puppy. They can do whatever they want to be, but I'm only here to stay a few tribals until merge. So I remember seeing other confessional. They were like, "Oh my God, Looking is so bad," and Looking's like, "Oh my God, we had him on the bag and everything." And look here on their confessional talking about. Yeah, I'm playing their game. So it's kind of interesting. I think that's why they voted David, because they are pretending to follow Iris and the others and do whatever they want them to do. I think that's why they voted David. It's not that they hated David. As I said before the swap, Looking had David on his most trusted person. There. Oh, sorry. My God, I said they and them for the whole thing, and I've screwed up again. Sorry. On their trusted rankings as their most trusted person.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Do you think this? What do you guys think of that dynamic with Looking and the others?
I think Looking is delusional. I think Looking has terrible reads and is not playing a good game, and is very entertaining though. It's very fun to watch. Looking reminds me of myself.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I play, like, I always think that I'm crushing the game and I'm like playing this like super like under the radar game, and like no one can see what I'm doing. But then I like read through confessionals after, and everyone's like, Gabriel is like so fucking obvious. Like, what the fuck does this guy think he's doing? Like, and it's just so fun to watch. But yeah, they're not playing a good game at all. They're not winning, I'll tell you that.
You know what Looking reminds me of? I think that it's what we've talked about when we're doing casting. I think Looking is feeling Scorch's place. Remember when we were talking about Scorch and like his whole thing in the confessionals and talking about like this delusional. I don't know if Looking is at the same level. I think Scorch is more. So at least Looking is feeling that spot on entertainment level. I also think that they are delusional and the others are just playing them like a fiddle. Sure.
Backtracking a little bit, what I will say is this is fucking sad because David is another person who was really excited to play. He's been, as mentioned in the cast assessment, he's been applying since season 1. And he